Hi guys, welcome back to Gwayne Sailing. After leaving the Erie Canal, we headed south on the Hudson River and made a quick stop in Troy, New York for their amazing Saturday waterfront farmers market. This market is a full 3 city blocks with over 100 vendors and musicians. It's ranked number 1 in New York and number 2 in the entire Northeast. It didn't disappoint. We even got to meet the mayor of Troy while we were there. This region of upstate New York is loaded with history about Uncle Sam, also known as Samuel Wilson. He was a meat packer who lived and worked in Troy and supplied the U.S. Army with barrels of meat during the War of 1812. These barrels were marked with the letters U.S. for United States, but the soldiers and workers joked that it stood for Uncle Sam. We are now in the Catskill Mountains of New York, which are a sub-range of the larger Appalachian Mountains, and we were there for the perfect timing of the fall colors. I've always heard of people visiting the area to see the trees during this season, but I have never been here before. I hope you guys don't get tired of seeing all the beautiful tree videos that we took while traveling down the Hudson River. The fall foliage even made the barges look pretty. We put our mast back up in the town of Catskill, New York at a marina called Hoppanos. It was about a 2-hour process from beginning to end. We stayed a few additional days and rode bikes and tried some new restaurants and bars. This is where we met our new friends from Montreal, Gina and John Francois. They were also heading south and are able to take pictures and videos of our boat as we motored down the Hudson River. And we did the same for them. Now we had 2 other couples to hang out with and buddy boat with. We've been super lucky with the weather during our trip this far and have had just a couple of cold days, even some mornings with frost. We haven't had much rain yet, but on the few days it did rain, we got to see some beautiful rainbows. While heading down the Hudson River, we would see a lot of pretty lighthouses marking the shallow water. We passed the famous Bannerman's Castle, which was an old abandoned military warehouse. We passed West Point, the oldest continuously occupied military post in the United States, and the still operational maximum security prison, Sing Sing. We stopped for a night at the Marlboro Yacht Club and went for dinner at this beautiful venue just down the street. We saw a terrific band, Bobby Hardin, who was an original member of the Blues Brothers band, and they were great. We even made a new friend there too. We stayed in a marina for 4 nights in a suburb north of New York City called Ossining, and took the train directly into Grand Central Station each day. It was about an hour train ride to the city, depending if we were lucky enough to catch an express train that day. There were many events going on the weekend we visited New York City, included Comic-Con, the New York Wine and Food Festival, and the New York Liberty Women's Basketball Finals. So the streets and the subways were always packed. It was quite a culture shock for us, since we have been in only each other's company for a while. The first thing we did was to take the hop-on, hop-off bus tour of the city to get our bearings. Our first stop was to get off at Little Island and explore the park by foot. We went next door to Chelsea Piers and had a drink at the Pier 57 rooftop park. Later, after a great dinner at a cute little Cuban restaurant, we stopped by the famous Comedy Cellar to see a fantastic stand-up show. Then we headed to a jazz and blues club for some music and drinks. The next day, we stopped at some food carts to try New York's delicious street food. We saw Rockefeller Center Plaza, Times Square, Wall Street, and the Empire State Building. After checking out a few more famous New York locations, we went for a stroll in Central Park, since our weather was so nice. We took the subway across town and saw these whimsical sculptures before heading to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. The museum exhibits included information and items from both the North and the South Towers, as well as the other locations on the East Coast, which were attacked on that day. It was somber, but very interesting. The reflection pools outside the memorial were pretty in the afternoon sun. We had dim sum for dinner, then grabbed a quick drink at McSorley's, an old-time bar with Irish bartenders and sawdust on the floor. They only serve 2 kinds of ale here, either light or dark. The next day, we took the train into downtown again. We took some quick pictures in Times Square and then had lunch at Carmine's famous Italian restaurant. We jumped on the subway to Battery Park to see the Statue of Liberty, and we had a blast riding the sea glass carousel. Riders sit in iridescent fish which glide through the sights and sounds and is supposed to stimulate an underwater experience. We then stretched our legs and took a walk on the Brooklyn Bridge while enjoying the views. That afternoon, we headed for Mercer Labs, a museum of art and technology, or the acronym MOTE for short. There are 15 interactive experiences in the museum. Each exhibit immerses a visitor in installations which are designed to explore the relationship between human art and technology. This was a really cool, fun museum, and we spent a few hours checking out all it had to offer. We grabbed a quick mochi snack on our way out and then made our way to dinner at Mez on the River, which has wonderful food and drinks, and even better views of the sunset. As we ate on their outdoor terrace, we could see both New Jersey and the Statue of Liberty across the Hudson River. It was a rare 80-degree evening in mid-October and the weather was beautiful. This was the perfect way to spend our last evening in New York City. Stay tuned to Gwayne Sailing to see our adventures as we head out into the Atlantic Ocean and as Nimbus gets to sail in saltwater for the first time ever. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.